Mm-mm-mm. Well, there's some crazy stuff right here, y'all. I'm waiting everybody to tune in. Let me see how they got this part yet. There we go. Okay. Get some more people to tune in, y'all. Man, it's crazy. They trying to give my man 99 years, guys. Y'all make sure y'all tune in. Sure. Because he need all he can get right now. I also got it on her where we can do an interview too. So we can reach out to so we can reach out to everybody. What's up, y'all? Yeah, man, this right here is something. This is crazy. This is a crazy situation, guy. The Texas man facing 99 years in prison for a crime he did not commit. I'm finna give y'all. I have him on the line. Well, on the video, and I'm gonna put him in, and we gonna talk about that because that's crazy. They try, and then they don't even wanna. They don't even want to get right for him. You get what I'm saying? So I'm finna. It's a couple people on here. They gonna see more of it. I'm finna go and get to it. Let him go on and discuss what's going on because I ain't heard nothing like this before. Make sure y'all share. Hold on. Let me click them in real quick. Hold on, guys. Let me see it. Boom. Oop, the wrong. Sorry, y'all. Where I go here? Okay, Mr. Dar, you ready?
Yes, sir, I'm ready.
Okay, so can you explain to the smashers, man, what's going on with your case and why you facing 99 years and your freedom?
Yes, thank you, Smash, man. My name is Daryl L. Davis, and I'm from Tyler, Texas. Let's get this out the way. I've done 18 years, 6 months, 3 weeks, and 5 days in that concrete jungle of a Texas prison. I was blessed to be released in June of 2015. At that time, I had an ankle monitor on called a GPS tracking device.
Right.
I had to wear it for 13 months and 11 days. I did that successfully. I come up off of it in 2016 and I enrolled in college. Today, I stand before you as a two-time college graduate. I graduated in 2020 with a social arts degree and 2021 with a bachelor of science degree in criminal justice. I graduated from a HBCU with a 3.8 GPA. Well, while I was in school, on the day of February the 7th of 2019, I had went to my full-time job working for L&L Asphalt here in Tyler, Texas, and I also had a part-time job working for Service Masters, cleaning up office building, as well as being a full-time student, as stated prior. On the day in question, which was February the 7th of 2019, I went to work. And when I left work, I had a parole visit that day where I had to go to my parole officer. As I was at my parole officer, she told me that I was on the UA list. So I asked her, said, let's go take it. And she said, no, uh, I don't have time to deal with you today. I said, well, I'll be back tomorrow, which was February the 8th, which was on a Friday. She said, no, I'll be in another county. I said, well, when do you want me to come? She said, come Monday, the 7th, the 11th. and she gave me a card to say report on February the 11th of 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that night I had a presentation in college for my biology class. I went home, got dressed, and went to give my presentation for biology. When I left by my biology class, it had to be about 10 something that night. And my coworker had already cleaned the dialysis machine and bagged the trash up. So all I had to do when I get there was to take the trash out and mop the floors, which I did. And I guess we left there maybe by 10:30, 10:45 that night. And as I was on my way home, I entered into what I guess what they call a pretext stop, where they had been arresting and dealing with people with narcotics that night in my neighborhood. So I didn't know at the time that somebody had ran from them earlier. So when I come through there, they stopped me. But when they stopped me because they said that I ran a stop sign. I never ran a stop sign, but okay, uh, you gonna give me a ticket? What you gonna do? So when I give him my license, he went back and came back and gave me my license back and asked to search my car. Well, being a convicted felon and a man that has nothing to hide, I agreed to allow the officers to search my car. Now I don't know at the time that they have a drugs thing going on. I don't know any of this. I only found this out later. So when I let him search my car and I get out the car, like 8 or 9 officers run up on me and said he's eating crack. He's eating crack. They just kept saying it. They choking me now, telling me to open up my mouth. Well, my mouth is open. Well, you said that I had crack in my mouth, but you never go in my mouth to get anything out of my mouth. Uh, you never you don't do anything, but you got canine dogs out there right now. So they take me to the hospital from the scene. And when we get to the hospital, the officer tell the lady that he bring me up there because I ate crack. So the lady looked at me and looked at him and she told me to stand over there on the wall, which I did. So I'm standing over there, maybe an hour and a half go by. So I began to tell the officer, I said, what we gonna do? Stand up here all night? So the lady went and got me a room and she asked him to unhandcuff me so she could take my blood pressure. And he did. And when he began to take my blood pressure, when she began to take my blood pressure, everything was normal. And the officer left me in there with the lady. But the lady saw my veins in my hands and she said, oh, you got some good veins. When we get ready to stick you, I'm going to be the one to draw your blood. And I said, yes, ma'am. I said, well, can we please do it so I can go? So as the lawyer exited, he left another officer in charge of me. Now this officer stayed gone maybe 40, 45 minutes or so before the officer returned. So when the officer returned, the lady, I guess, waiting on him to get a go ahead for her to draw my blood. But when this officer returned, he told the lady to discharge me. And she said, I can't discharge him. Only the doctor can discharge him. So he said, well, get the doctor to discharge him. So at this time, I'm thinking that they made a mistake and it's about clear since they don't want to do a toxicology test on me. So when she got the doctor to discharge me, he put me back in handcuffs and took me to jail and threw me in jail for tampering with evidence. At no time did they ever find any evidence of any crack on me. They said I had stopped at a crack house that they had under surveillance. Well, far as I know, on surveillance mean you got pictures, videos, and everything. So you cannot show any of this here because I never stopped at a crack house. This is just an excuse that the Tyler police and the narcotic officers has been using for decades to entrap people in pretext stop in what they call North Tyler. I'm not the only one that has been dealt like this or have been done like this here. I'm just the only one that didn't do anything that happened to know the rights of standing up for themselves.
So
And I have been dealing with this here since 2019. I go down there every month to UA in a cup and to pay $100 for something that I never been convicted of. I think that that's extortion and racketeering. But nevertheless, I have to comply with this rule. When I first bonded out and they put me on pretrial, I was going down there every week for nearly 2 years to urinate in a cup and to give them $100 a month. And I have been doing it for over 5 years now, and I never had a positive UA.
So, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
So, so this is Smith County, right?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, I can't stand that Smith County, man.
I'm
Ooh,
standing out here right now in front of Smith County Courthouse.
they rough out there, man. They hard on
Hmm
us out there, boss. So,
hmm
so
That's my prosecutor that's going in the courtroom right there, the one that's trying to prosecute my case.
okay,
He's not the head prosecutor, but he's the prosecutor in my court.
so why are they saying? Why they just come out and say crack out of all the drugs? It's because that's what's in that area. That's high in that area.
Can you repeat that?
I said, why are they? Why did he say crack? Why he say you chewing crack out of all the
Uh,
things?
I don't know. Remember, they said that I had stopped at a crack house, but this crack house that I was supposed to have stopped at, don't no one know what this crack house is. My lawyers has been asking for this particular address of this crack house for the past 5 years. And just about a month ago, they just gave him an address of some duplexes. But when we went by the duplexes, don't nobody live in these duplexes. Now, they had never bought any crack from this alleged house. They have never made any bust from this alleged house. This alleged house has never been called on that it was drug trafficking there, or it just been a nuisance in general. Don't
Right,
no one know where this house is except for these so-called officers that they've been putting these cases on, and these guys been going to prison for decades for an alleged house that does not even exist. And you said I stopped at a crack house and you let me go in the crack house. I bought crack, came back out, got in my car and left. That doesn't make any sense, people. If you're up under the investigation, then whoever go in that house, you're not gonna let them get out their car. You're gonna stop them in their yard.
right,
And also, you never made no bust at this house, right? But you saying I went in this house that night and bought crack. Why you didn't go in there to get the money? Why you didn't go in there to bust the drug dealers? Because that's where all the money, the guns, and the crack at, supposedly.
right. Yeah,
Hmm
it seems to me it seems like they're just trying to stick it to you because of your background. That's uh,
I think it all started as a simple mistake.
right,
I really do. My name is Daryl Lynn Davis. I was born in September of '63. Since this incident happened, I have been tied to a guy named Daryl Glenn Davis. He was born in October of '65. He has drugs all up and down his record. Since that night, his child support papers has been coming to my address. The first time I received letters from the Attorney General office with Mr. Davis's name and information on it, he owed 48,000 and some dollar worth of child support. My question would be, where was these papers going before I got stopped that night and I got involved as being intertwined with Mr. Daryl Glenn Davis? Because
right.
the
So
old
they get you confused.
$48,000 worth of child support, yes, sir, you had to be on it for some time.
Yeah, they got you. They got. So what it sounds like they do got you confused with somebody else, and they just
Yes,
really
sir.
running with it.
Well, see, Daryl Davis was a known drug addict, right? He
Right,
been busted with crack cocaine. He been in the prison for crack cocaine. And I believe when I come through there that night, they ran the license plates of my car, and it came back Daryl Davis, right? Well,
right,
by them looking for drugs or whatever in that neighborhood, it come back Daryl Davis. So they stopped me thinking I'm Daryl Glenn, but actually I'm Daryl Lynn. So when
right.
I go to the hospital, when he find out that I'm Daryl Lynn and not Daryl Glenn, he would not let them people do a toxicology report on me. But because I've been in that system and I was on parole, they said just throw him in there anyway and allow him to figure it out.
Well, that's cold blooded though. So
Yes, sir.
what is your lawyer saying?
Well, my lawyers don't really talk too much to me about this case. I don't know, but my lawyer was the head district attorney in this town for 18 years. So he built that system that I'm caught up in, right? And before he was the head district attorney of this town, he served up under, I believe, which was his good friend, which was Jack Skeen Jr. And
Right,
Jack Skeen was up there for 20 years. So between my lawyer and his predecessor, they have 38 years up there in that prosecution office,
Right.
right? I don't think it's I supposed to be caught up in it at all, especially with my lawyer being uh, a former assistant prosecutor and
Right.
the head prosecutor for almost 20 years. Uh, the prosecutor Jacob Putnam, he has been known to run amok in situations. You had a little 9-year-old girl here that was beaten by her dad. Her eyes was black. They were shut closed. Well, at that time, Assistant District Attorney Jacob Putnam, gave the man a plea deal and allow him to escape. Another instance here in Smith County where we had a guy that beat up a Smith County sheriff deputy to the point of hospitalization. The same district attorney, Mr. Jacob Putnam, dropped charges on him and let the man out of jail. The next day, he go kill a state trooper, Mr. Dennis Allen. But you want to throw me away for life for something that you don't even have no evidence of even taking place.
And that's what I don't understand. It's no evidence at all why they haven't dropped it yet. That's supposed to been
What?
dismissed. It's supposed to been
What?
dismissed.
Actually, you're right. I think I'm caught up in a feud between my attorney, which was the former head DA, and his assistant, which is now the head DA, that he had to reprimand several times about running amok in that district attorney's office. And I'm caught up in their vendetta with their feud or what they having going on. I don't think this really had much to do with me other than we have two powers and I'm caught up in the middle of it and I shouldn't be.
No, you shouldn't be, man, because they don't have no evidence. They just can't say nobody swallowed ate no crack and didn't even test them. It's supposed to be thrown out the. It's supposed to already be thrown out when they
It's
didn't even
supposed
have the
to,
test because they can't prove that you ate nothing.
man. They
How can they
had
possibly prove if you
man, you
did do it?
can't.
How could they possibly prove it without testing you? Regardless, they fumbled the ball then.
Well, this is what they did. They said I ate crack cocaine, right?
Right,
Crack cocaine is a deadly drug, right? You
right,
take me to the hospital for what? That means you failed to render aid because you didn't allow them to get whatever you said was in me out of me.
right,
Now check this out, Smash. If you had something in you and I was a police, I'm gonna do everything possible to get it out of you.
right,
Especially if I'm trying to save lives, not so much as the case, but just to save your life. I'm gonna pump your stomach. Cause what would you take me to the hospital for? Right?
right,
Now when I get my police report back from this situation, it's not my driver's license number that's on the police report,
right.
right? So I don't know whose it is at the time, but I do a little lightweight investigation, and a year later I found out that that was my Texas ID number.
Huh.
Now, where did you get that Texas ID number at, Mr. Officer? Because I didn't give it to you. I gave you my Texas driver's license. And in
Right,
the state of Texas, it is illegal to have two forms of Texas ID, right?
right,
When I got out of prison, I did have a Texas ID. But when I got that was in June of 2015. In November of 2015, I got my driver's license and I had
right.
to surrender the Texas ID. Again, where did they get that Texas ID number at? Because I didn't give it to them, right? When that man found out that he had the wrong Daryl Davis, he abandoned his mission.
Yeah.
But by being so corrupted, they just couldn't say, man, we sorry, we let you go.
They just
He
make
on
you look
parole
good.
anyway. Just throw him in there.
That's what they
But
doing.
yes, sir. And I was blessed to get out of prison in 2015 to start a nonprofit where I give kids bicycles, backpack, school supplies every year, and I also give the elderly people in our community turkeys and hams for the Thanksgiving holidays. I take kids out to fly drones in helicopters, airplanes, as a part of my aviation program here in the city of Tyler. I
Right.
started a learning academy in the low income projects here in the city of Tyler. And I'm amazed that I cannot find nobody that look like me to stand with me because they said I am my mouth. They always said in my mouth. Well, if they spent 20 years in prison and they were trying to throw him back, how you doing, Miss Fleming? I'm all right. Uh, then they would, I lose my train of thought.
You,
But again, I do a lot in this community for them not to support me with the backpacks, the school supplies, and all I do for the community. I think that someone that looks like me should stand up to say, man, he does a lot for our community. He speaks up for us. We had gotten a few $100 million, anywhere between 200 and $800 million in this town around 2017 to build two high schools. They only built one high school, and it looks like a university. The other high school they gave a facelift to. It looks like a prison, but you don't know it looked like a prison because you hadn't seen one yet.
right,
They go 2.5 years in that high school and don't have a kitchen in it. They feeding kids like inmates from a closed down middle school, transporting their food back and forward through COVID-19. I'm the one that went and got video of them doing this here and went before our school board to let them know how they were violating our kids. They soon after they opened up a kitchen in that school. I don't even know how they even got the school open because it never met the city codes to be open.
right,
Right? You talking about you got roughly 2,000 students over there. And you don't have a kitchen. You can't even open up a daycare without a kitchen.
right.
Yes, sir.
So you, so
And right
you,
now I'm fighting for my life.
so well, that's what I'm here for, man. Hopefully the word can get out, and I try to see if I can get in touch with some mainstream news stations as well. Cause, like I say,
Please.
I don't. When your next court date?
I go to court on Friday, May the 3rd at 8 o'clock.
Is that supposed to be your final court date?
I've been had court dates since 2020, and I'm still
Dang,
going along.
it been
Like
going
I
along
said,
that
it's
long,
over 5 years now. Yes, sir.
man. It
And
seems like
I'm
they
telling
trying to
you,
catch you in something.
it's bad on my health wise. I'm deteriorating. I have to drink water to go down to urinate in the cup. And sometimes I have to wait 30, 40, 45 minutes, an hour holding my urine because until I'm able to see those people. Because if I go, I might can't go back for hours. So I have to be right on time when they want me, not when I want to urinate, but when they want me to urinate.
Right,
And it's
man.
damaging to my health. It's a mental strain on me. I cannot move forward with my life. And it's pressure that one could never imagine being up under.
Smith Cannon know they wrong. I done had my bumps and bruises in Smith Cannon because I went to Tyler Junior College and I also went to Jarvis Christian College.
Okay.
So I'm very familiar about Smith Cannon and how the police, how they, how they be policing down there. They hard on us, brother. You
Yes, they
know,
are. They are.
yeah, they
And we
give us
pretty
the
much
book.
hard on ourselves because we let them get away with a lot of stuff.
I mean, and I just seen someone just said that Smith Cannon gave his partner 2 life sentences. Dang.
That's probably
So
true.
yeah, so but in your situation, I just don't understand how can they I just don't understand how can they even think about saying facing 99 years in prison without no evidence of nothing. I just can't see that. Like,
Well, let me show you how that came along, Smash. When I caught this case in 2019,
right,
I had up until I guess April of 23. I was only facing 2 to 10 years with this case,
right,
right? All they probably wanted was a conviction.
right,
But on March the 4th of 2023, I was on my way. I had took one of my employees to IHOP to feed them before I was going to take them to my store. Well, situation arose where I had got blocked and I couldn't get in my car at the IHOP. So I called the police. It's not my duty to fight for myself. I pay taxes. That's your job. So I called the police about 10 times. And when they did finally arrive, I guess about an hour or so later, they told me to put my hands behind my back that I'm up under arrest for a parole violation. I said, I'm not up under arrest for a parole violation. I just talked to my parole officer early in the month. Well, I was thinking it was February, but it was March. But I did talk to my parole officer. Come to find out, my parole officer put a blue one on me for no other reason than he could. I'm not upset with my parole officer. I was really kind of upset with the supervisor that allowed that to go on, because with what I'm off into and what I do for the community and who I am, the supervisor said, "No, he does too much. I don't want to. Why would you want to lock him up?" Well, nevertheless, they locked me up. And when I was in prison, I had a correctional officer to pay $3,000 to gang members to kill me behind two ice cream sandwiches and two soda waters. Right.
Right.
So I was successfully litigated that against the state and won monies. Right. But the state didn't want to pay me when I was in prison. So when I got out of prison, I began to lobby that in Austin, in the capital, with different state representatives and state senators around the state of Texas. And when doing so, uh, I was successful to get the monies that the jury awarded me in 2010. And I had a reporter named Eric Dexmeister that found me and sought out and wrote about that in the Houston Chronicle. So that was like in August of 22. So when I got arrested in March of 23, I called him and I told him, and he thought it was a form of retaliation from the state. So
Right.
he said, "Well, I'm gonna do my research on it and see what I come up with." Uh, how you doing? Uh, yes, sir, I am. How y'all doing? All right. And that was Sheriff Pingleton and the other sheriff. I can't think of the other one name. But they I lose my train of thought. But nevertheless, man, I got so much going on right now in this time with these people. Uh, he uh he wrote the article about the parole blue one laws, and he published that on April the 13th of 23. And when he did that on April the 13th of 23, uh, it spearheaded something. So Jacob, the district attorney here now, he got wind of it. It was on the front page of the Houston Chronicle, and he immediately said, "I'm gonna seek life on him." Right. So it wasn't until April the 13th of 23 that they began to want to seek life on me, and that's after the first Houston Chronicle article ran on April the 13th of 2023. My reporter backdoored and updated that story in the Houston Chronicle on April the 19th of 2023. And you have people speaking in the article said that this is no more than hurt feelings. Now, how you gonna send a man away for life because your feelings hurt? Not because he broke the law now, but because you feel he hurt your feelings.
Because that's what they do. When our life in their hands, they can do
Hmm.
whatever they want to, boss. And that ain't right. But I done seen it too many times. When I back against the wall, they
Uh huh.
throw us a boy. They throw us away. Lie on us. They lie on you just to get a conviction and throw you away.
Well, that's
So
what they doing on
that's
me
what they
now.
doing to you right now. So think about it. They don't even have no evidence. They don't even have no evidence
That a
of
crime even happened.
that. And for them to even mention 99 years is disrespectful.
Uh huh.
It's really disrespectful, man. It's not right.
Well, it's actually inhumane, being that we living in the 21st century and this is 2024, that you would even mess with a guy like that,
Yeah,
right?
man.
Just like
Yeah.
I had those two sheriffs that come out here, they pretty heavy in the sheriff department, and they hadn't been out here before. They just see me out here with this camera. One of them is Chief Pinkerton, and the other one is Lazarine. I don't
Right.
have any problem with either one of them men, right? Uh, far as I know, they sheriff deputies, right? They do what
Right.
they do. I don't have no problem with them. I don't have no problem with any individual. It's the system that stinks.
Right.
Mhm.
So it needs some reform down there.
Well, I'm the only person that we have in East Texas that stand up and speak. We have no preachers. We have no NAACP. When things happen, who do we call on? I was blessed to start an organization in 2021 called Equality and Justice for All DLD. I started this organization because I myself several other people that had went to the NAACP for help over the years did not get any. But Equality and Justice for All DLD, we reach out, we try to help people.
Do y'all have NAACP down there?
We have an NAACP, we have a name down here, but no participants in it. And I say that to see if anyone gonna come out and say, "Well, I'm a part of the NAACP." Well, if you are, where are you? Because that fella needs some help. Uh, the CBS 19 News interview said that that entity got together with another entity, and they both worked together in a joint investigation, and they couldn't find scintilla of evidence where I did anything. So there, I think preachers and anybody should be coming out, no matter what color you are,
So ain't nobody. So no. So basically, you had to come way to Dallas to get some
to
kind
get
of
some help.
to get some help
Yes,
because nobody down
mm-hmm.
there they
Is
man
interested.
they scared of that. They
Yes.
scared of Smith County, man. Somebody got to
So
pay
I'm
this.
gonna ask you this right here, Smash, and help me out if I'm wrong, brother. Because I lived in that jungle from the time I was 33 to the time I was 52.
Right,
Right now, if a person wanted to stand for somebody, they wouldn't have to twist their hands, right?
right,
Uh, Black preachers are supposed to be the voice of their community,
right,
right? So in situations like this, who would I call on?
right. And so hmm, well, you need to be down here, man, because that ain't right. Ain't nobody come through,
No, sir, not yet.
man. Somebody
And
got to
I
try to
think it's
come,
because they're afraid. And I think that the black preachers want me to fail right now.
man. You, man, cause
Because when I succeed, that will make them look bad. Well, why we didn't get out there and help him? But if I fail, they can all, ride together. Why wouldn't you want to help me? You don't even have to like me to help the situation. It's an unjust situation and it's been going on for decades.
you right. And sometimes I'm feeling. See, I don't like to quote too much stuff because people take my words out of context. So sometimes I don't like they misconstrue my words. So sometimes I be trying not to say too much. But
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say this in this situation. S- Hey, I always think about Harriet Tubman. Some people just can't get them to ride with you. They're just part of. They like to be up under. You get what I'm saying? They like to be up under
Uh-huh.
the master. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
I got you.
if the master is not messing with them,
Then it's okay.
then it's okay. You see what I'm saying? Only
Yes,
time
sir.
they want to do something is when it come to their doorstep.
Mm-hmm.
Long as the master is not messing with them and getting them off and throwing them, they good. But you got a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people, and I learned this doing news. I always knew it, but I learned it more doing news. You have a lot of people that's like that. They only come
Mm-hmm.
out when it's time
What is
to,
happening to them?
you see what I'm saying? Or when it's time to be on TV. You
Yes,
hear
sir.
me?
I hear you, Smash. And that's where I have a problem with Black Lives Matter at, right?
Right,
Uh they'll wait till a black guy or girl. Then this is not in every situation, people, but in 90% of them, where a person is doing wrong, intoxicated up under some kind of drugs or whatever, and the police stop them and they get belligerent with the police or may take out running and the police kill them. Then you want to come out with your sign Black Lives Matter,
right,
right? But here you got a man that's clean, I got a criminal record in my past, but my present and what
Right.
I'm doing, they trying to kill me with an ink pen, people. My life don't matter. Why it
Eh,
had to be a white cop to kill me for doing wrong?
right.
That
And
my
see,
life begin to matter. Well, I don't even have a life no more, so it don't matter.
right.
That life is gone. But by me being a living being, out here breathing, out here being productive, what I'm getting in my life don't matter because ain't now somebody had no sign talking about Black Lives Matter or his life matter. It's only when we doing wrong in the streets and get gunned down that a Black Lives Matter. Well, why should a Black Lives Matter? That person dead now.
Right. But I told you because everybody in that camera now, everything want to be attention and famous, want to be seen. Nobody really is genuinely helping folks anymore. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You see how I
I do.
genuinely helped you? You
You
see what I'm
did, and
saying?
you didn't even know me,
Yes. So,
but you checked into my plight and you kept your word with me.
yes. So you don't have, I see this all the time. I tell people, why you don't do the way people, y'all don't understand the off camera stuff. See, this the thing. People don't understand the off camera stuff that goes on. They only see
Exactly.
what the camera see, but that off camera is where you truly see who a person is.
That's it.
You get what I'm saying? But
I
you
do.
know, I like social media. You can, hey man, you can ride on somebody's team. You can, hey, but when they off that camera, them people is nothing like they are when they on that camera. That goes for every
That's
for
all of it.
let's go for everybody. You see what
It
I'm
is.
saying? So and so I see it all the time. And so I just be like, I just shake my head and go on by my business. You know, you are what you are, but don't come around me with that. In your situation, I don't see this could, and what's so cold about it, this could be something big for Tyler,
For everybody.
for everybody. This could be
This is
something big.
monumental right now. I have lawyers that coming up out this courthouse. When I'm out here on Monday, they fussing about how the judges are doing their clients in there. Before I start coming down here every week, them lawyers weren't coming out here saying nothing.
Right.
Now they fussing about their client should be going home, right? My judge came out here this morning and talked to me. My judge ain't been talking to me. The district attorney came out here last week and talked to me,
What are they saying to
right?
you? Like,
Well, it's just conversation. We're not talking about the
okay,
case. That's
okay,
unethical and illegal, right? We're just,
right,
talking. But I'm finna share something with you. My judge I have, uh, I like to go to different events, right?
right,
And me and my judge done ate elbow to elbow at the same country club,
right,
which is Holly Tree.
right,
We done been to some of the events at Willowbrook Country Club.
right.
Now, why my judge is allowing this to go on, I have no idea. He knows no evidence in my case. Maybe he want to keep a black man out of those country clubs. I don't know.
Huh.
But it's worth asking because I eat with you. I hang out in different groups that you in. Not because I'm one of you or I'm a part of you. It's because I'm interested in the knowledge that's being transformed in the rooms that y'all are in.
Right,
Uh-huh.
man.
I know I'm a black man, and I know that they have a place for me to be in.
Right.
They have a place for me to be in. I don't have no place.
It's
My
cold
daddy
though.
built this world, right? So why is my judge allowing this to go on?
I don't understand that. That thing supposed to been dropped, man. And they
Hey,
ain't
boss
got
man.
no
Yeah, had no
evidence.
problem at the board, eh? I feel bored. All right,
Yeah, they ain't got no evidence at all.
I got
So
you.
I just that right there a hard pill to swallow, man. You just got to keep us updated with what's going on, cause I just anybody have any
Man,
questions they want like to ask them. This is Dara, y'all.
man, I
Anybody
got
have any
t-shirts
questions?
down here in Tyler. This is what the front of the t-shirts right here say. Uh, I'm gonna turn the camera around right here. This is what the front of the t-shirt say. Justice for Daryl L. Davis. And this is what the back of the t-shirt say. Uh, Let me get this t-shirt. The back of the t-shirts read like this: Equality and Justice for All, DLD. I started that organization in 2021 because the NAACP didn't do anything to help people. And that's the organization I went up under when I brought forth that the school that they were feeding them high school kids in didn't have a kitchen in it.
Right.
Yes.
And I just can't believe nobody is boy say. I can't believe nobody is just trying to stand with you, man. That's just
Well,
cold blooded, man.
it definitely is, but sometimes when David went to fight Goliath,
Right.
he was alone. But God had him equipped. Even Saul, the giant, was on the sideline
Right. Yeah.
trying to offer some help to David that David didn't need. He wanted to get David his breastplate. They said, I don't need that. I'm
Man.
not going to say I don't need the people, but I need God more.
Yeah. Mm.
I would love to have people support.
Right.
hmm But I can't make no one support a cause that they don't want to support or a
Well,
cause that they don't believe in.
mm. Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just keep us
If
updated, and I'm gonna try to reach out to a couple of mainstream news guys and see
I
if they can
will,
help out and get the word out too.
if
And
anyone has some questions, please ask them. Please. Ain't no question too shameful for me, and ain't no question too hard for me not to answer. I'm fighting for my life. You need to know everything it is to know about me.
right, and yes, Smith County got is one of the worst. They have one of the worst justice system. They've been having that for years, man. Y'all gotta understand. People getting time for stuff they supposed to get 5 years, getting 35, 40 years. So it's crazy
Man,
down there, man.
it's
Whew.
so racist down here in this East Texas area that they had a preacher back in 2014. I believe his name was Charles Moore. He was 79 years old. He was a Methodist preacher, I want to say. He had got so tired of the racism here in East Texas. He was from a town called Grand Saline, which is not too far from here. He drove his vehicle to a parking lot, parked it, wrote a note, put it on the car, and dashed gas on himself and set himself on fire. He
Mm.
said he was too ashamed that the racism still exists in this part of the country like it does. That he killed himself, and no one have took any notice of what this man sacrificed in order for black people to have a better way of life.
Okay, someone asked, "What are you being charged with?"
I'm being charged with tampering with evidence, with no evidence.
So explain it for people what they
Well, that
what
just
what what they trying to say that you do what you
they
did.
they they try they say I ate crack cocaine. So they said by me eating crack cocaine, I tampered with their evidence.
That's
So they
crazy.
got me charged with tampering with evidence when you don't even have evidence. Even if you'd have drawn some blood and I'd have had something in me, you'd have had some kind of evidence, even if it would have been from that day or not.
That's cold blooded, man.
But you knew that you had the wrong guy. Because if you didn't, why you didn't let them people pump my stomach? That's failure to render aid. Because anything that you digest that's not supposed to be in your system can kill you.
Right. Yep.
Why you don't get what's in me out?
That's
Unless
why I
you
don't
know it's not
understand why
nothing
they ain't
in me.
dropped it, man. It's got. I'm gonna be on. I'm thinking it's gonna drop when you go to court. They gonna have to throw it out. I mean,
Well, I'm gonna share this with you, about man. With all due respect, I went to prison with a 37-year sentence for a crime that never happened. You hear me? It called a word called FATE. I had two white police officers that testified in my trial in 1997. The first one name was my James C. Nicola. He was an HPD officer. Officer Nicola testified for the state of Texas. His testimony went something like this here. We didn't see no cuts, marks, or lacerations on the victim, right? The second one that testified was a detective named Michael Wabinez. He testified that he did the overall investigation and he didn't find nothing which might have occurred in an assault. And for the first time in my life, I witnessed white people that didn't believe what the police said. So, with or without evidence, I've been the victim of that criminal justice system. So I
Mm,
know the decks that could be stacked against you. At
mm,
that time, I went to court with a court-appointed lawyer named Donald R. Davis. My judge was an 88-year-old retired judge named William Bill Haddon out of Houston, Texas. Right? I've been in that. And the reason I'm fighting so hard right now, because I could see land for miles and miles and miles and miles away. Right? And what
yep.
number of prisons out there. I don't never want to see that no more.
Right.
See, people, I was attacked and beaten by gang members. I don't want to go through that no more. That's
Right.
the jury that they letting up out of there. They're gonna go and listen to somebody's case.
Right.
But yeah, that's why I'm fighting so hard, man. That prison system is nowhere for any human being to want to be. That's why I'm involved with these kids out here, trying to get them to go the right way.
Right. Man, it's cold blooded, man. Well, and you say you go May 3rd, right?
Yes, sir. May the 3rd.
Man, keep us updated. I'm finna try to see if I can get some mainstream news on the horn for you, and we're gonna get it together. Yeah, Smith County ain't being right even when I was going to school down there. They were hard on us.
Mhm.
So okay, Mr. Darrell, I'll make sure that
If
try
you
to
know
get you some help.
anybody that want to get in contact with me, please give them my information.
I'm finna start. I got a couple of people I'm finna try to reach out to, and as soon as I ain't get off this line. So look, somebody said my homie just got 20
Okay.
years of Tyler for tampering with evidence and high speed chase, but he was still on parole. So I'm a I'm gonna hit you back a little later and try to see if I can get
Yes,
something
sir.
done for you, and we're gonna
Hmm.
take it from there, man.
Man, thank you so much for what you're doing for my plight, my man.
Keep your head up, boss.
I'm Man, I definitely will, and I'm grateful. Any of your followers that need any kind of information on me, I wouldn't hesitate to provide it. I need help.
I got you, boss. And I'm gonna make sure I try
Yes,
to get
sir.
you some too. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Smash.
All right.